I would love to just hear about how the Scotch industry is doing. I know it's kind of been gangbuster since the recession over the last 10 years or so. Has it petered out at all?
It's certainly slowed down in the course of the last 2-3 years, basically because we've seen a slowdown in China, devaluation of the ruble in Russia, and of course the devaluation of real in Brazil. These were massive markets for Scotch. But on the whole, I mean, it remains the category which is that covers the entire globe. It is the aspirational spirit of choice in Africa or emerging Europe or emerging Asia. So I think it's a cycle. We've been around for a couple of hundred years. We've seen a few of those cycles: recessions, prohibition, and world wars. And I'm fully expecting to see us to return to growth globally in the next 2 years.
How do you see it doing in the U.S.?
Well, what we're seeing in the US is an increase in value, a little bit less consumption, but certainly people drinking better. So over the course of the last 5 years, we've seen market share of, say, single malt go from 18% to 25% of Scotch whisky consumed. So, and we've benefited from that significantly, and we're seeing that trend continue. We've seen 20% growth in just the last year, for example. So it's a very strong market, and people are experimenting and enjoying better drink.
One thing that I've seen that I think is really crazy is that you look at value Scotch, you look at the trend line, it's through the floor.
Yeah.
And in super premium, it has something like 180% growth.
Yeah, we're seeing substantial growth in products from $60 up to $1,000, and I think people are looking to treat themselves a little bit more. In this 24/7 age, when everyone's connected, when they do take a moment in their life to unwind and step back, they want to experience something unique, something they can talk about, and something they can take a moment to enjoy. And that's really played into our wheelhouse in the case of the Macallan. And that's why I think that's why we're seeing substantial growth.
That seems like a pitch that would sell really well to millennials who are looking for authenticity and experience, a history.
Yes. I mean, yeah, Macallan officially started in 1824, and our company has brands that go back to the 1700s. People talk about craft, what that means, but you don't get the first craft products in the world started in the islands of Scotland, and still those distilleries are there today. So it's really is we're enjoying a renaissance. I think there's been a bourbon boom, if you want to put it that way, and rye's back. And what we're seeing is as people get into bourbons and ryes, they're actually gravitating to single malt and Scotches thereafter. A little bit more expensive, but it's a great trend. And I've said a few times, a rising tide lifts all boats, and we're seeing that happen in regards to single malt.
So bourbon is like the gateway drug, and then you're hooked on Scotch.
Well, I mean, the great thing is the cocktail culture is growing. I mean, people might have previously had a 6-pack of beer or half a bottle of wine, and then they're having a Manhattan and enjoying a classic cocktail. And that's bringing culinary sort of experience into drinks, and that's exactly what we want to see. People drinking a little bit less, but drinking better.